How you doing? So welcome to the buff concept series. So we're gonna make a buff concept to make Groot the best champion in the game. I'm so confident of this that Kabam will not make this buff concept of him that I'm willing to give you 10 to 1 odds. Either they're not going to make this exactly the same buff concept as I am, if not better. I'm so confident they won't that I'm giving you 10 to 1 odds. Also, we're gonna make a broken buff concept to Groot, and I'm so beyond confident they won't do that to Groot. I'm willing to give you 1,000 to 1 odds because he will be broken, and a lot of YouTubers don't know what a broken champion is, and we're gonna make Groot buff concept to make him broken. Okay, so this is not gonna be broken where you're gonna beat opponent with just one hit, as well as be able to auto fight the entire, every fight in the game. That's not going to be broken like that, okay? That's broken beyond broken. But I'm talking about just what a definition of what a broken is. And you can make a case for a champion to be able to solo every fight in MCOC. That would be broken as well. So I might make a buff concept of that from a different champion. I know Kitty Pryde, if you can play perfectly, she's pretty close to be able to solo every fight in the game, but not quite. So we might have something like that, but it's going to require skill though. So for Groot, he's not going to be able to solo every fight. As far as the broken concept, but he's going to be pretty much going to be able to auto fight 80% of the fights in the game. So as far as the broken buff concept. So let's talk about his best buff concept first. So when it comes to his best buff concept, when it comes to his physical resistance, that should just be 100%. There's no reason why it isn't 100% at max sig, and it will be at sig 1, it should be at 50%, gain a physical resistance buff, and then double the potency of that with a max stack of 20, and it's going to be permanent. So when struck by critical hits, that's going to be the same thing. When it comes to passive, it's going to be immune to heal block or any type of regeneration that reduces his regeneration. As well, when it comes to his fury buffs and cruelty buffs, it's going to when he gains them, it's going to be double the potency with a max stack of 20 of each of fury buffs and cruelty buffs. And when it comes to unique physiological debuffs, it's going to be able to shrug off. Instead of 55%, it's going to be 95% faster than normal. That's including non-damaging debuffs as well as damaging debuffs over time. And if you have 1 point in limber, he's pretty much done immune. He's already immune to bleed, which is great. When it comes to special attack 1, that's pretty much useless, so you can just get rid of that. So instead of that, he's gonna get the true strike buff with a 20 for 20 seconds. When it comes to special 1. When it comes to special 2, double the potency of his regen, as well as being unblockable as it is now. And when it comes to special 3, so it's going to be modified attack, as well as it's going to be guaranteed critical bleed, and it's going to be depending on how your attack is, as well as based on how high your critical damage is, it's going to be that will inflict that amount of damage is going to be modified. So that's going to do so much damage. When it comes to something else is when it comes to special attack 3 against robot, instead of inflicting a bleed, it's going to inflict a degen debuff on the opponent with the same amount of potency. Let's say if you do have deep wounds, it's going to inflict more damage, right? It's going to be the same thing when it comes to degen against robots. And something else I didn't mention is he's going to inflict permanent armor break on the opponent if he throws a heavy attack. Okay, with a max stack of 100, reducing opponent for each armor break on the opponent is going to reduce their armor rating by 250 with a max stack of 100. So it's a bit unrealistic to have 100, but if it does ever get to 100 armor breaks, that's going to reduce opponent's armor break by 25,000. So it's going to hit like a truck. He's already going to hit like a truck with 20 fury buffs as well as 20 cruelty buffs, because that's going to be what? With double the potency, that's going to be a max stack of 20. That's going to be over 32,000 attack, as well over 4,700 critical damage rating. So he's going to hit like a truck even without the armor break, man. So what do you got? You have, when it comes to, you want armor break, you throw a heavy attack. You want true strike, you throw the special one. You want regen, you got the special two. You got you want to inflict massive damage, you throw the special three. And then as far as synergy wise, so if all of his guardian teammates is on the team, he'll gain an armor buff. So that's that will be on this team. That would be Star Lord, Gamora, Drax, as well as Rocket Raccoon. If they're all in his team, he gets armor up buff. So that is my best buff concept of Groot. That will make him the best champion in the game as far as best buff concept. If you play Battlegrounds, you might disagree that he's not going to be the best champion in the game. I do not play Battlegrounds, so that's your opinion. That's okay. But for me, he will be the best champion in the game, and I'm so confident of that I'm willing to give you 10-1 odds. Kabam will not make him the way he is, if not better, when it comes to his fury buffs or cruelty buffs. Let's say they make it better, triple that. I doubt that, of course. But let's make now I'm so confident as far as beyond the broken buff concept. I'm beyond confident that I'm willing to give you 1,000-1 odds. So let's make him a broken buff concept. So not only he gains physical resistance buff with a max stack of 20, he's also gonna get energy resistance buff with a max stack of 20 with double the potency. So that's gonna be over 11,000 energy resistance with permanent being as well as permanent buff of max stack of 20. And then when it comes to his buffs, every time it gets nullified or fatal, anytime that his buffs gets removed, when it comes to his personal buffs as well as incoming buffs, they turn into passive buffs. So this does not include the Odin buff, so that could still be nullified or fatal, whatever, removed. But when it comes to his personal buffs as well as incoming buffs, it will turn into passive buffs if it gets removed. Because yeah, so there you go. That's going to be make him broken buff concept. So as I mentioned before, as far as my definition of broken champion, be able to solo every fight in the game or even auto fight 80% of the quests in the game. I mean 80%, that's pretty close. As a 6-star rank 5, 200, maybe perhaps a 7-star rank 2, that maybe even probably more realistic. As a 7-star rank 2, be able to auto fight 80% of the game. But unfortunately, we don't even have a 7-star Groot because you know how OP he is, unfortunately. Sarcasm! But yeah, there you go. There's my buff concept when it comes to Groot. Thank you.